It's joke, no joke, no joke. Oh, you know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. Joke, no joke in the building. Kareem Smiggity. What up, Kareem Smiggity? West Coast in the building. What's good with you? Whack on wood. If you wanna whack, whack on wood. Shout out to my man Whack on Wood in the building. Joke no joke. It's lunchtime for a few of you out there. Come on and get this lunch work. You know what I mean? Catch up with this entertainment news. Nat Turner in the building. What up? All right. Richie. What up, Richie? Richie in the building. Observer Thoughts ahead. DJ Drew Ski in the building. Jay Steve's in the building. In search of in the building. Tony. What's up, Tony? Icky Licky. I don't know who that is. 781. Albert Stone. Carla Lloyd. Number one, Drew C in the building. Curtis Penn in here. Anthony Parker. Don't get no darker. Johnny Brown in the building. Choke no joke, man. So we here because got some stuff I have to pull y'all code to before it get too late in the day that you need to know this information. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, Donald Trump has issued a warning to Iran. So that is the most important breaking news. And I know there's a saying, don't worry about things you can't control, but sometimes you got to have some type of awareness of your surroundings too, right? So, um, knock on wood, God forbid, and everything else under there. You know, we want peace. We don't want war. But today, Donald Trump put out on his Truth Network, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, we're different, smarter, and less radicalized. Now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail. Maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in a long and company in the complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. So that went out today. As simple as it sounds here, it's very scary on so many different levels. You know, it's so scary on so many different levels because I don't know if the president is thinking about what's the repercussions to his actions, what retaliation could look like. And for you people that don't pay attention to world news and don't really watch the news, if you wasn't paying attention over the last couple of weeks, then you may have missed where Iran said if, this thing continues to go on, that they're going to start sending drones over to California and, hitting up the West Coast because they have capabilities of reaching over there. So then you got to worry about Iran having allies, which I want to say maybe Russia and China. Let me see real quick. Iran, key ally, former and phone access of resistance. This network includes regional relations, Lebanon, Yemen, Hamas, Palestinian, Jihad, Gaza, and various Iraqi relations, along with strategic state partnerships with Russia and China. Yeah. Like I said, they strongest state partners is Russia and China, which is superpowers. So along with Venezuela and North Korea is their other support. So that's a lot of power. North Korea, Venezuela, China, and Russia, and I think Syria. So um, I really don't know what to think. I just hope that they could come to some type of resolution and it just be over that way, opposed to any more violence happening. Because it's one thing when you on this side of the fence. We didn't get to experience what they experienced on the other side. And if it was to start happening here, like these people can't even stick together like for simple stuff. You know, they hate each other if you're a Democrat or a Republican. If bombs and stuff was to start happening over here and stuff, it ain't no telling how people are going to act towards each other. You have the people that that's going to want to help people, and you're going to have the people that is going to want to rob people. But all I say is pay attention to your clocks. 8 p.m. Eastern time, um, 1 p.m., 1 a.m. If you're in Great Britain, you know, and 3 p.m. if you're on the West Coast. That's supposed to be because that's when is their deadline to whatever negotiation they got on the table with Trump. 8 p.m. Eastern time, 1 a.m. if you're in Great Britain, and 3 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, right? If I'm not mistaken, let me see. No, 5 p.m. if you're on the West Coast. My bad. But speaking of Great Britain, while we here, Kanye West. Let me pull up a picture. Easy. So this thing is like a two-part story, if not longer. So as y'all know, Yeezy and the boy Young Camel, they've been beefing for a minute now. You know, Yeezy found out when he signed his deal over there with Rat Nation that the paperwork wasn't in his favor. Uh, he couldn't, allegedly, according to him, looking at his contract, he could never retire from music by signing that contract. Um, then they blackballed him with the shows. Remember when he went and was doing the show and he was saying that telling Jay he knew that he had dudes that were unalive you and don't send your boys after me, Jay, woo woo woo. And then after that, uh they took and put Kanye and I'm gonna say allegedly uh a mental institution. I don't know where it was, but they were trying to say he was 730, saying that he was crazy or 5150, as they would say on the West Coast. And in New York, we say 730. But they was trying to say Ye was a little cuckoo when he was doing that show and he was going at Jay and Beyonce and them. Um, so after that, Kanye was kind of blackballed from the industry from my speculation, you know, from my observation from where I'm sitting. He couldn't get no venues, more because the people that he signed to is signed to Live Nation, and Live Nation um, had monopolized all the venues around the world, right? And then they got in trouble recently with the I think with the feds. Live Nation and Ticketmaster reached a tentative settlement on March 9th, which is almost a month ago, with the U.S. Department of Justice (DOJ) um, during the antitrust trial, agreeing to pay up to 280 million in damages to 40 states and open its ticketing technology to competitors. The deal requires diversity 13 amphitheaters and relaxing exclusive venue booking, preventing a full company breakup. So Live Nation and Ticketmaster was allegedly working together uh, and making it harder for, let's say, if you was a promoter and you wanted to throw a Kanye concert, or just say you was Kanye and you wanted to throw your own concert. Live Nation and Ticketmaster were accused of working together and not letting other promoters and people that wanted to produce events eat because they had all of the venues, and like Ticketmaster wouldn't allow, allegedly wouldn't allow, certain companies to use their system, and Live Nation wouldn't let certain people allegedly use the venues. So they monopolized all the venues around the whole globe, damn near. So for a while they was getting away with it, and then somebody they put in like a class action lawsuit or lawsuit, and that's when the Department of Justice came in and they cracked down on them. So last month, uh, Live Nation and Ticketmaster they reached a settlement, right? And this is why you was able to see Kanye be able to jump back out there and started doing shows. As soon as this, once they reached the settlement and stuff, I think like the next day, Kanye had a show booked somewhere for that next week. So now what we seeing here is Kanye knows that with this deal or this lawsuit that um, he won. Now he could go and rent venues, or promoters could go get certain venues. They still got a bunch on lock, but they could still go get certain theaters, and they could get amphitheaters or venues or whatever. They could they could go and rent these venues and Ticketmaster, and they could throw events and make money now. You see Kanye, they sold like 80, what was it, 80,000 or something like that. 8,000 tickets, something. No, it was more than that. It was like 80,000 or whatever. And the way that some of these venues are set up, they only hold 20,000, but the way that Kanye he's setting up his stage, he opening up the floor for more space and fitting more people in there. So instead of the regular 20,000 that's in there just sitting in these seats, he getting the seats up out of there and flipping that 20,000 to 80,000. You know what I'm saying? And making way more bread than anybody else would. So, and the key aspects in that settlement with Live Nation and Ticketmaster last month was Live Nation will pay up to 280 million in damages to the states that were a part of the antitrust lawsuit. The company agreed to sell off 13 of its exclusive amphitheaters. Ticketmaster must allow other ticket sellers to use its platform, allowing competitive better access to its market dominant infrastructure. The deal bars Live Nation from retaliating against venues that choose other ticketing companies. See, they was out here on some gangster ish and fee caps. The settlement includes a 15% cap on service fees at its amphitheaters. So getting back to Kanye, how this all goes back to Kanye, right? So as you know, we wasn't seeing Kanye being able to do shows because he dealing with the blackball man. Y'all know who it is. We ain't gotta say no names, right? The one that everybody suck off all so much and think that he can't do no wrong. Well, Kanye is a victim of his blackballing, and this was another way of them stopping Kanye's flow by him not being able to get venues to perform. But as you can see, as of last month, and in the last month, he already done did at least 2 shows. And now he getting booked up again because now he can move around. Well, at least we thought, or he thought, he gonna be able to in America, he gonna get venues, right? But America is a good market for him, but out of the country is an even better market because they respect the culture more and they still love it. Us, we'll make something hot and then throw it away and like Fubu, you know, Fubu could be the ish at one time, and then instead of making it vintage like Louis Vuitton or anything, we just that joint's played out. We don't rock that no more. But niggas will still go get an old Gucci shirt or Gucci shoes or Chanel bag and it always vintage. This is vintage. But when it comes to our people and our stuff, we don't we don't give it that same love. You dig? But so Kanye now is able to do shows again because like I said, this lawsuit that the Department of Justice had on Ticketmaster and Live Nation. As you can see, they even got to sell 13 of its amphitheaters. They got to give up some of them venues, right? So I think that being that Ye is running around out here now, able to do these shows, that there's a person that was hating on him that is probably upset about it and don't have no power over him over here. But so as you can see, Kanye went and had what's the name of this festival? The Wireless Festival over in the UK, and they canceled that. Now, the reason they canceled it is because they saying that, Kanye was saying anti-Semitic things, and they have a big Jewish population over there in Great Britain. So they're not gonna allow him, to feel the way that he feel about those people and open their doors to let him come over there. So for that reason, they banned him from coming over there because of, you know, those anti-Semitic things that he said. Now, I'm on the fence with this one. Just for the simple fact that on one hand, you say you got freedom of speech, right? And then on the other hand, is like you don't have freedom of speech because if you say certain things about certain people or certain groups, you know, you get a harsher penalty for one outside of the other. Like, if black people uh were Jewish, then I don't think that we would ever even had a NWA for one, you know. Um I don't think you would have saw the spraying of the water hoses on people, the dog attacks. Um you wouldn't even be able to call each other the N word today if the roles was reversed. So on that side of the fence, I feel like if they not letting them in because of freedom of speech, but they not America, so I don't know if they First Amendment is the freedom of speech. I don't know, but Kanye, on the other side of it, I don't feel sorry for him because of he brought all this on himself just for attention. He did all that to show that if he did talk about these people, that he would get a more severe punishment than if he talked about his own people. And he was right. He was right. He lost a lot of his endorsements, this, that, and other. So, but this is the price that he's paying to show people that the point that he was making was right. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, if you talk about one particular group, you will have severe punishment. You know, and if you talk about another group, you will get a smack on the wrist. It's just the truth. So, is it fair that he can't go over there and they banned him from coming over there? On one side, I can understand them not wanting him coming over there, knowing that the Jewish population is large over there, and it ain't no telling what somebody over there might do. You know, um, and they may look like they may look at it as they're protecting Kanye or protecting their people in case somebody try to do something to Kanye. They could be looking at it that way, right? That's how I would be looking at it. Oh, nah, you ain't bringing that drama over here. If somebody try to do something to you over here, Nah, nah, nah. Keep your Yeezy over there, right? That's what I believe. Um, and then should they allow him to go in the country and do shows? Yeah, because Kanye, for us that know Kanye, we know that he's doing this for attention. You know, um, do I think that Kanye would ever bring harm to his fans? No. Intentionally? No. Like, so we see him do shows here, we see him do shows other parts of the world. He's not looking to bring harm to his fans, but when you pull these antics, this is the repercussion behind it. And then he take his daughter to the show with him. Like I'm sure he's not trying to have his daughter in the line of danger. Like she's performing at the show too. So that's I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Now, unless you've been under a rock for the last 12 hours, you may not have heard, but the boy Offset, one third of the trio, the Amigos, um, has got popped at the in the Hollywood at the casino. Shout out to everybody over there in Florida, over there in the Fort Lauderdale area. If you ever driving on the side of 95, you see the big guitar, the Hollywood Rock, or I don't know if that's Hollywood Casino. I don't know what it's called, but I've been there a few times. Um, the boy Offset got popped. Now, I don't want to say too much because, of course, this is an ongoing investigation. So, I'll tell the story without mentioning names. And if you're smart enough, you'll catch it. But I'm not gonna get too deep into what it is, right? So the word on the street, I'll say, the word on the street is Offset got a gambling problem, allegedly, right? Now, I've seen other people say that Offset owed them money, and he owed them money from a bet. So when they say Offset has a gambling problem, I don't know Offset, but I heard another person say that he owed them money from a gambling bet, right? So this incident here took place allegedly is because if you know the other person that's involved, then you know the other person. So I ain't gotta say no names. If somebody typed their name in the chat already, then their name is in the chat, but I ain't gotta repeat it. But um, there was a guy. I ain't gonna even say gender. They because they can identify as whatever they may, right? So it was a person, right, that was cool with Offset, Um, and they had they seen Offset at a casino or something or somewhere allegedly, and Offset ain't really have no money on him, and he had asked them the person to let him hold something. So Offset being the guy that I mean, the person being the person that they are, you know, they said, 10 grand wasn't really nothing to them. And they was cool with Offset. So they let him hold the 10 grand, right? So when the person started hitting Offset up, you know, about getting their money back, allegedly he was curving them and curving them and curving them. And then it may even be got to the point where he might have changed his number allegedly, right? So they eventually wind up speaking to each other, and the person told, Offset allegedly, you know, yo, I want my money. I need that 10 bands or whatever. And allegedly Offset said something to the effect of um he have nothing for them. He wasn't giving nothing to him. And they started beefing, had words, and then it ended with allegedly it ended with Offset telling the person uh, get it in blood. And then Offset's in the hospital today, allegedly. So let me tell you something. Let's just say this is true, right? This is why I don't gamble, for one, right? I'd rather spend my money. I'd rather go on a trip. I'd rather go to another country and try new food than to go and sit down and gamble my money, because that's all it is a gamble, right? You risking uh you risking something based on luck. You know what I'm saying? Unless you know how to count cards or something like that. But if you don't if you don't have no special skill in gambling, if you ain't got trick dice, you know what I'm saying? Then everything is based on your luck. And if you just feeling lucky all the time to where, you just want to gamble, 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 then one day that got to go the other way. You're not always going to be lucky, and vice versa. You know, if you buy a lottery ticket, you know, 1 out of 100, you're gonna win something, even if you only won $2 back. You know, but that's those are for the people who gamble. Me, I don't gamble. Now, a person that gambles means they take chances. So let's just say if uh he did borrow $10,000 from this person, and then tells the person, "Yo, I ain't got nothing for you. Get it in blood." They gambling right there, right? You gambling right there. If you gonna tell a nigga get it in blood, that means you're what we call ass betting. Like, you sitting there, you betting on something and you don't got the money to pay out. So if a dude or a woman allowed gave you $10,000 to hold, and you said you're gonna give it back to them, like they was taking a gamble and giving you that money that to see that in hopes that you was going to give that 10 grand back, right? They took a gamble. You knew they took a gamble when you told them, "Yo, let me hold 10,000. I give it back to you." Cause you know you ain't know where that 10,000 was gonna come from. Cause you ain't got 10,000 right now to be asking for 10,000. And then you tell nigga get it in blood. Now you gambling that the nigga won't shoot you or the female won't shoot you. And then what happens? Your ass in the hospital. Now they say that he got hit in the buttocks, and which means he took off running and to get shot in his back, right? Now here's the thing. If allegedly this shooting took place over $10,000, is it worth shooting somebody for $10,000 and going to jail because you was being generous and lending them money, and they probably went and gambled they right back off before you even got out of the area, right? Is it is it worth going to jail, or possibly he could have killed him or they could have killed him, right? It ain't no guarantee that that bullet was going to hit him in his butt. They could have hit him in his spine and paralyzed him. They could have hit him in the back of his heart and killed him. You know what I'm saying? They could have went in his leg and traveled all the way up to his heart and killed him. You know, but the point is that if the rumors in the streets are true that and a dude or a chick, or a dog or a cat or a wolf or a goddamn cow, if they lend you 10 bands and they come to collect and you tell them get it in blood, you might have a leaking ass. Yeah, man. So I don't know about the brother. There's more to come, but word on the streets is uh homie got a little gambling problem, and this is the repercussions of it. But we will see. Now Kanye, on the other hand, he better hope that going around the world, they don't just start canceling him all around the world, because I'm pretty much sure that somebody put that call into the UK. Like, yo, don't let him come through. Don't let him come through, because I know one thing for sure. He got two shows planned the same day of the Yankee Stadium shows. How many of y'all knew that? Kanye got 2 shows planned the same day Jay-Z's shows um, at Yankee Stadium. They trying to hate on my man Yeezy. Trying to hate on my man Yeezy. Joke, no joke. Y'all already know, man. I'll see y'all tonight, 7 p.m. with an update on the news, all right? I'm back.
I do it. This is a diss, would be specific.
Hit that subscribe.
Hit you with a sub, you blacklisted. Her third tour, it's ridiculous. You in the crowd, babysitting. Mad at pics, fans flicking. You got a Billy, they dick licking. Kids, your son and dad missing. You duck in the swab, results prison. I see your faces, the mad prism. Y'all rats, are you kidding? And if you sign, you have no wisdom. Integrity missing, money mission. Lamar Latrells in your system. Camel licking, nerves switching. Are y'all kidding? Y'all Virginian. Success, y'all dream sex. Sold a lot of units, but still checks. Squares, Nike, I run with checks. People use Marcy as pets. I move his skin, you on your head. All your tunes are dead. You ugly like your dreads. No bag, I'm on your head. No fag, I'm my shooter. You the glad Duke shooter. You do balls, but no hooters. Choke, no joke, I am the future. With no Malloy, you play with boys. Be out here wishing she was a boy. You her decoy, you her bitch. Choke, no joke, I am the shit. Yo, Cam, get off my dick. Mad Jim, king of the dips. Without Jewels, you have no hits. Your last hit was True Life. When he caught you with that right. Yo, Big Joe, am I right? Nigga Dane saved your life. And then you crossed him for home. Got on stage with Ho. You an actor, you ain't Poe. Joke, no joke. You already know. Yo, man, I'm done, man.
Joke, no joke. Yeah. It's joke, no joke. Let's go. Joke, no joke. Chicken joke, no joke. Joke, no